All right. It is a certainty that on the CASP test, you'll have to look at some graph data and interpret what it means. So let's start out by how do you approach a graph, what do you look for, and then how do you make understanding out of that. In this graph, our vertical axis is velocity. How fast is something going? The horizontal axis is time. So we're looking at changing speed over time. Now, when we look at graphs, we see that there are three possibilities in terms of a linear graph with respect to the slope. In this section, we have the slope is positive. It's going up as we move to the right on the graph. That's positive slope. When it's not changing at all, that's a zero slope. And when it's going down as we move to the right, that's a negative slope. Positive slope means that we're increasing the value that's on the vertical axis. Zero slope means no change. And negative slope means that we're decreasing. So if I'm asked a question about this graph, and for instance, I might say, what is happening during the first 5 minutes of this journey represented by the graph? Well, a possible right answer might be the velocity is increasing for the first 5 minutes. They might say, what is happening between 5 and 15 minutes? And you would say, they're traveling at the same speed because the velocity has been unchanged during that time. And if you're asked, what happens between 15 and 20 minutes? The velocity is decreasing, and at 20 minutes, the velocity is zero. So you have to look at the map, you have to understand what's the vertical axis, what's it measuring, what's it showing, what's the horizontal axis. Most of the time it's going to be time, but it could be something else. And when the line is going up, there's increasing, whatever this is. When it's horizontal, it's unchanged. And as it's sloping down, it's decreasing again. Now, sometimes we're going to see plots that have a different meaning. As an example, when I collect real data, I can have a plot that has data points that are scattered. A lot of the time in science, we're going to draw a best fit line through the data to try and understand what's going on. And we can, on that basis, extrapolate points where we're going to zero on one axis or zero on the other. So we're going to be looking for intercepts on both the x and y axis to understand what's happening from data and predict what's going to happen.